Call Haloim Yahweh, Bahasham Hamashak Yahushai, Bahasham Kakudash, Barakatham. Shalom. This is your fellow servant Tazawar here with another lesson from the GMS Orlando camp. First, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Kakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, whom rule well, and from whom we learn this truth. Shalom to you, Akim, who are not in GMS, but are pushing likewise doctrine in spirit and in truth with all sincerity. To you few sisters that are listening and learning, as well as you speckled birds, who are scattered among the nations, looking like those nations. To the 144,000 elect men, and the rest of the hopeful elect. To you I say, Shalom. So, this video is basically I'd call it not really like a testimony, but or an admonishment. Not really an admonishment, but more so a testimony. So like it. Just I wanted to share some insight that I received or that I had imparted on my my rib the other day. We had a conversation that turned pretty pretty serious. How can I say? I don't want to say critical, but just some words of wisdom was imparted down, and it's got me thinking, like, and this really applies to both the brothers and the sisters. All right. Anyway, to give some context, long story short, me and the rib had kind of been not really seeing eye to eye on some things, and how to go about handling whatever situations arise in the world. Like if you got a rib, of course, you sit down and y'all have conversations and you get perspectives on things, because the Lord blesses each person with certain gifts, right? But ultimately, and I guess more so for you sisters, but again to the Akim as well, you can glean something from this, because we know what the order is, right? The order is set: Yahweh, right? Yahweh Shai, man, woman, child, right? Then dog or goldfish or whatever you got, right? But that's the order. Okay? Much like there's order in the camps, there's a chain of command, right? So we have a spiritual chain of command. And when somebody breaks rank or attempts to break rank, right, then you kind of start to cause friction amongst the body, amongst the unit. And that may incur certain reactions or verbiage from certain individuals, we'll say, right? And it's the same thing like at the plantation and all this other stuff. The point is, you know, and I didn't even pull this, but let's get it. Let's do 1 Corinthians 14:40, right? Let all things be done decently and in order, right? And this is a basic milk scripture, but it applies to so much of our life, man. It's really a simple concept, right? But to be in order, or to do your best to be in order at all times, is challenging because it is flesh, man. Right? Because of the flesh. And of course, being in the flesh, we all have certain proclivities, moments of weakness, right, at different times, because of our trials, right? So these things are normal. And it's, you know, of course, as men of the Lord, or servants of the Lord, you know, hoping to be men of the Lord, right? We try to adjust our world lens, our lens with a spiritual view. We try to look at things through a spiritual lens first and foremost. And that is pretty much at the, you know, at the apex of what I'm speaking of. Right? Because it basically boils down to trusting in the Lord, to put it just straight to the point, to the core. All right. Now, obviously, you don't be foolish when you put in certain situations, but you have to evaluate each situation, each scenario, each trial with a spiritual lens, because maybe, not even maybe, you're going through that hardship for a reason. However uncomfortable, whatever the discomfort is, whatever the level of anguish is, right? Let's not forget, you know, the Lord orders our steps, man, and we're judged daily, right? And sometimes grace abounds, and then sometimes you get hit with shit. And that's just how it be, you know? And the shit that you get hit with, 9 times out of 10, if it don't send your ass, not even 9 times out of 10. Yeah, I'll say 9 times out of 10 is for your growth. If you don't get sent back to the spiritual realm, 9 times out of 10, the shit that hit you is for your growth. Right? The other 10% of the time is probably for somebody else's growth. Okay? And that's just me saying numbers. That's not really accurate, but you know, to kind of just That varies from person to person. Okay? Given your office and whatever the Lord sees to do fit with you. But at the end of the day, you have to trust in the Lord. So sisters, if first let me holler at the brothers. Brothers, it's your job, of course, to carry the burdens of the world when it concerns your household, right, and your family. Okay, it's your job as the man, the head of the home, to carry those burdens. Your woman shouldn't be worried about all of those burdens, whatever the Lord may throw at you. And you may have a woman who has masculine traits, and that may be difficult for her to fall back. And this is where, with the ladies, for the sisters, you have to learn to submit to who the Lord paired you with, to your husband. Okay? Because maybe that man is going through something for his growth that's going to benefit the family unit. All right? So when you buck up, or when you don't, even if you don't buck up, if you a silent rebellious type, and you try to go do your own thing on the side thinking you know better, right? You out of order. And the same thing for brothers, that when it comes to being in the truth and being in the ministry, man. If you try to go do your own shit on the side, that's really contrary to the doctrine and the gospel that we was given, then you going off. Because you may not agree with something a brother said. Maybe you got rebuked or admonished or something, or corrected, and you want to go do some little side shit or whatever. That's some hoe ass nigga shit, man. But ultimately, that reproof is for your growth as a person, man, and spiritually. And you have to trust that the Lord is moving on your behalf. Right? But I understand. People can only do that if you're sincere. Those of you who know in your heart you ain't sincere, then yeah, maybe you got something to worry about. But that's another wake-up call. Maybe you need to do some self-work, some self-help class or some shit. And by self-help class, I mean get into the scriptures. Right? Psalms 9 and 10. And they that know. You know what? Let me see. Yeah. And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee. For thou, Lord, has not forsaken them that seek thee. Let's start up. Let's start at 9. The Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee. For thou, Lord, Yahweh, has not forsaken them that seek thee. Right? He has not forsaken them that seek thee. That seek him. Let's grab real quick. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus 2 and 10. Is it here? Yeah. This is the book of Sirach. Right, let's start at 9. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old, and see, did ever any trust in the Lord, and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear, and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? Right? And these are 3 questions, but they're rhetorical. They're rhetorical because the question is nobody, none. Did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Never. Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? No. No one. Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? No one. Right? And then when verse 11 say the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in time of affliction. Right? So remembering verse 10 of Sirach. Okay? Who did he ever despise that called upon him? So when you trust in the Lord, you have to trust. That means you even have to trust in his chastening. Okay, basically what I'm trying to get to. That's the point. You have to trust in his chastening as well. Because like the brothers say, there are no losses on this side in truth. All right? We take L's, but those L's are lessons, not losses. Because hopefully, each L, you actually learn a lesson and then apply it. Apply that newfound wisdom and knowledge to your life. Right? So if you amongst the body and you don't really like how somebody govern, or even at your job, or if you're a sister at home and you don't like how your man run things, you have to learn how to submit to him. Because when you break rank as a female, you are disrespecting the Lord. Because he's trying to teach you submission, and he probably trying to teach that man another lesson. So there's duality, right? 2 birds with 1 stone, so they say. And if the guy fail, a fumble or whatever, that could be a lesson in humility, a lesson in, perseverance, whatever it is. Okay? And for the brothers, like when you going through shit, again, that's a lesson in perseverance. It's a lesson in humility for you, because you got to sit there and you got to stay in order too. Right? Not to say that anybody's above reproof, but there's a way, there's an order to do things. So you got to stay in order. So there's humility, learn how to, stay humble, take reproof if need be, learn patience and perseverance. Because those 2 things, patience and perseverance, are 2 synonyms, all right, that the main word hope hinges on, man. Hope and faith hinge on patience and perseverance. They hang on those. So all those things work in tandem. And as a man, you have to be able to be strengthened in these areas, right? To run your household in order. Whatever the Lord see fit to bless you with as far as a household. Whether you don't have a rib, all right, whether you got a rib and no seeds, whether you got seeds and you and your rib are estranged, or whether you got a full working family under your roof. Proverbs 18:10. Or maybe you got more than one rib. Maybe the Lord saw fit to bless you with more than one rib. You still need these traits. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth unto it and is safe. Right? Proverbs 18. Ooh. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth unto it and is safe. Now let's go back to Psalms 19:10. Psalms 9:9. So like it. 9 and 10. We're going to start at 9. The Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble, and they that know thy name will put their trust in thee. For thou, Lord, has not forsaken them that seek thee. I should have brought out Proverbs first. But that's beautiful. We're going to get one more. We're going to close it out. This is Isaiah 45 and 19, 17. Verse 19. I was right. So this is 45 and 19. I have not spoken in secret. Isaiah 45 and 19. I have not spoken in secret in a dark place of the earth. I said not unto the seed of Jacob, seek ye me in vain. I, the Lord, speak righteousness, declare things that are right. I declare things that are right. Okay, so he made a promise, man. And he said he's not spoken in secret or in a dark place. He's made it plain. Okay, he made it plain. Going back to Abraham, going back to Deuteronomy 1 through 14, Deuteronomy 28, chapter 28, verses 1 through 14. I said not unto the seed of Jacob, seek ye me in vain. So, turn back to the Lord, man. The Lord is not a man that he shall lie, right? Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things shall be added unto thee. So we're not seeking the Lord in vain. He said he has thoughts of peace for us, right? To give us an expected end. All of those verses I just quoted, roughly paraphrased, show the Lord's grace, mercy, long suffering that we read in Sirach 2 and 11. Right? And you can go back to that Sirach 2 and 10 and read that again. With this verse right here. It say, he said not unto the seed of Jacob, seek ye me in vain. Matter of fact, let's do that. Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach 2 and 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? Right? And that's what Jake think, man. Jake asked those questions, but they think that, well, the 2/3, they don't see no benefit in calling on the Lord. They see no benefit in let me see this, Psalms 4 and 5. Psalm 4 and 5. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness and put your trust in the Lord. So Jake don't see the benefit of being righteous, man, as a whole. But there is benefit. There's great benefits. And they're not a secret, man. They're not untold. We just can't imagine the greatness of them. How vast those benefits will be. But we've been told of the glory. We've been told of the riches. We've been told of everlasting life. Streets paved in gold. No sickness, no sorrow, no death. Right? One shall become a 1,000. Many children, many wives. We've many mansions in the kingdom. Right? So we've heard of all these things. It's just, again, man, that flesh is a motherfucker, man. Jake's stiff neck, man. But this is how you know that this thing that we are in is for a select few. Right? And Lord willing, we be a part of that number. But anyway, the point of the lesson was even for you sisters out there, you know, yeah, your man is your protection, your shield. But if you can't trust in him, at least trust in the Lord. All right? Trust in the Lord. Anyway, you know, men, don't forget to deal with your wives as the weaker vessel. I'm going to leave it at that. I pray this lesson finds you well. I pray that it be edifying. Till next time, Shalom.